Smoka gets a good jump, but I think a few of the BMWs have gone down the way, and that's Ponset making his way up in the P2 and maybe up in the P1 as he tries. Endurance type, the responsibilities of the league owner is real, but what's real is this battle. It's like something we're gonna crash into the corner. The lap, hopefully he doesn't lose any power here on the up end. As he's out of power, he's completely out. Oh yeah, then he's getting the acceleration out of the final line.
Corner here.
And he gets pull! He gets pull! Oh my goodness, I was not expecting that at all.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Good evening, wherever you're at in the world. This is going to be your LSR Round 4, LSR LMU Lamont Ultimate Round 4 at Silverstone. And right now we got a wet track. Going to go ahead and jump in for your LMGT3 qualifying. I believe right now, let me get the tower data. Just showing the GT3s. Right now we got 8 drivers in the GT3 class. Of course, we got Berkvis, we got Smoka, we got Paul. I'm gonna quit trying to say his name. We got a new driver, number 014 is gonna be Grigoris Katsaras. I'm guessing I said that right, but hopefully I did. Then we got Shkiryanov right there in the number 70 car. We got Alves, fast driver right there in the 115 Lamborghini. Then we got William Stickney in the 88, Miles Norman 61, and Jack Powell for a total of 9 drivers out here in the GT3 LMGT3 class. And looking at the sector times, I apologize for not having those up in the stream right now, but it looks like that Alves is going to be one of the faster drivers right now, doing 2 purple sectors. Joe's Burke was the first driver to set a lap time right here. I believe so. I believe Berkvis is about nearly 2 seconds away from Alves' fastest sector times. Flew Smoke a little bit closer with those sector times. We're going to see what happens out here as Berkvis does a 2:17.0, while Smoke does a 2:17.1, surprisingly. Let's see what happened on Smoke's lap. Paul going at 2:17.8. Katsura is doing a 22 or 2:20.5. Shkiryanov doing a 23.6. And then we have Alves right there with a 2:15. 2 seconds cleared of Berkvis. So we're going to see what happens in this battle right now. It's going to be a wet weather race, so it's going to be slick for the whole hour that we're going to be out here in Silverstone. And we're going to see how these drivers adapt to it. Again, I think I remember having a Silverstone race last season. I forgot if it had been wet or not. But I know there was one tire strategy that worked, and it was taking no tires. And that was Berkvis right there. Berkvis, right now, won the Silverstone race last year. In the, I believe it was the Isada. I think he was driving the Isada, and he won it for whatever reason. And he took no tires in that. He did a 0 stop. So maybe we're going to see a strategy like that. Maybe more people are going to take this strategy, especially since it's raining. You get less tire deg. You can save a lot more fuel. We're going to see what happens to all these drivers. Maybe not for the GT3 cars, but for the hypercars. You may just see that happen. As you see right now, Alves getting another 2 purple sectors. Just extending that lead right now. Fastest driver on the track with a 2:15.1. We got 2 new drivers in the GT3 class. We got Katsaras in the 014 car, which I believe is a Ferrari. And then we got a Corvette. In the 13 car, we got George Ackerley. Hasn't set time yet. I believe he's on his outlap. Go on with Alves. In the final sector right now. See what time he could put down. Still a 215.4, but it's still a second and a half away from Smoker and Bergqvist. They're going to be our top three drivers right now. We're going to see what Bergqvist or Smoker can actually do in the Aston number 27. Bergqvist right behind him. See if they're going to try to play onesie-twosies out here. Trying to take out the bigger evil, if you will. As Paul goes 17.7, still 7/10 away from P3, which is Jonas Bergqvist with a 17 flat. We're going to see what happens in these sector times. It looks like Smoker with a 32.9, about 4/10 away from Alves' best sector 1 time. We're going to see what happens right here. Going to keep the cam on Smoker. He got clear track ahead of him, so hopefully he can pull up a lap together and challenge for the lead, challenge for pole. Bergqvist about 2/10 away from Smoker's sector 2 time. As we see Alves again with another 2 purple sectors with a 32.4 and a 38.7 respectively for sector 1 and 2. This might be an Alves show. Let's see what happens over here. Again, Alves, one of the fastest driver out there, but hasn't really put anything together when it came to the races, right? I mean, we saw he got unlucky on the initial race, the first race. Got crashed out. Portimao was a crapshoot as well. So we're going to see what happens if Alves can just have a normal 60-minute drive, Sunday drive in typical British weather, I think. Philly Smoker with a 16.3. Bergqvist with still a 17.0. Looks like Smoker's fine with that lap. We're going to see if Bergqvist has anything to do with it. A little bit squirrely on the outside. Be careful about those curbs. Curbs are already slippery. You don't need to add water to make it more slippery. As the rest of our standings right now, we got Paul in 4th. Jack Powell, George Ackerley, Katsaras, Shakiryanov, Norman, and Stickley, rounding out the top 10 of your GT3 class. About 5 minutes left to go for your GT3 qualifying. Again, I have to remind you, it's 30 minutes of qualifying. GT3 comes out first, and then it's going to be your big boys, hypercars. Going to come out in the last 15 minutes. Speaking of hypercars, let me see who our runners are. We have Jacob Tuckey, Talk Phoenix, Bradley Kennedy, John Icala, new driver right there. Of course, we got Ed Torres, Victor Selensky, Spencer Brown, Alex Drury, Jose Flores, Stefan Itzke, Nico Perez, and Buggy Watt. And of course, who was right below my screen, I didn't scroll down far enough, Kyle Welling, rounding out 13 drivers in your GTP class. As we get back into Jonas Bergqvist, not setting any insane times right now, but let's see if he can challenge for Philippe Smoka. He is about 7/10 away right now from his fastest time. We're going to see if that 63 time can move him into P2. As it goes into that final corner, I believe. Gets a 26.8. Lowers his best time, but still 4/10 away from your P2 of Philippe Smoka and that Aston Martin. I think right now one of our better battles is going to be between P2 and I want to say down to P4. We're going to put Paul back in there in that 24 Porsche. I think right now that's probably what we want to watch in the race unless something goes tits up. I think Alves got in the bag. It's about 2.5 minutes away from end of qual for GT3. We're going to stick out on Berkvis. Actually, we're going to go to Paul, see what he can do. Does a slower sector one time with a 33.2. We're going to see if he can do anything better in the sector 2 and sector 3. Try to get Berkvis out there. 0.8 away from Berkvis. On the Porsche 24 car right there, a little bit squirrely on the outside, trying to get that grip. Trying to find the grip so you just you shake the wheel a little bit. Right there, hit the curb. See if that compromises his line in Maggots, Beckett's, and I forgot what these corner names are. I apologize, but it's a cool one. I like these corners. I like Silverstone. If we're gonna rank like one of the countries that have like one of the better tracks out there, like just based on country wise, I think Britain gotta be in the running contention, right? Go to tracks, if you will. So in Paul, as my sector times got removed, as I completely missed a Berkvis going P2 with a 215.7. Philippe Smoka, nothing. Not responding to that. But Berkvis out here, pipping Smoka by 0.5. But still, 1 and 2/10 away, 1 second and 2/10 away from Mateus Alves in that Lamborghini. So I can try another lap again, see if he can do better. Berkvis, our last winner in Silverstone, so he probably likes this track. Gonna see if he can make it a second time, at least with your GT3 cars. See what you can do. Gets a little bit squirrely on the exit with the curb as he just parks it. He calls it quits. He saw his delta time and he was like, not worth it. And speaking of not worth it, we're going to go to our hypercars and see what they're doing because they're about to start qualifying. And I believe we're going to go on Jose Flores. Jose Flores is a fast driver with the Peugeot. Going to see what he could do in his outlap. I believe it's Jose Flores, Zelensky, and that Ferrari in the back of Talk Phoenix. We're going to see what Flores can do. He's going to be our first guy out. As he's on the outlap, if you will. 14 total drivers in your hypercar class. I believe it's 2 new drivers. 3 new drivers, I believe, in your top class, which is Boogie Watt in the Genesis. Yeah, Brendan Wilden, which I believe he is in the Porsche. Or actually, I don't think he's new, but whatever. And then we got the Alpine of John Icala and the funny number car. I'm not going to say that. Go into the backstretch with Jose Flores. Zelensky already losing time trying to follow him. I think my bet right now, I think Jose Flores is going to get pole. It's kind of like an easy kind of bet, but we're going to have to see. We haven't seen him racing wet, so let's see if some other drivers can actually get up there with Ed Torres, Nico Perez, Spencer Brown. Let's see what they all can do in the wet versus Jose Flores as he goes into turn 1. Into the hard braking zone of the first sector, I believe. Never mind. I thought we were doing F1 layout. A different layout. I thought oh man. Production crew scuffed. He's still going the onboard of Jose Flores right now, doing a 28.7 on the first sector time. No one even comes close. Everyone else doing a mid 30 seconds or a mid 29s. Spencer Brown, the only one challenging him right now with a 28.9, about 0.2 away from Jose Flores, as Jose Flores does a 35.3 on the second sector. We're going to have to see what happens with the other drivers. Seeing what they do. It's about 36, 35 mids. We're going to see what happens with those sector times. More interested on Spencer Brown doing even better in sector 2 with a 34.8, nearly going 0.5 faster than Jose Flores. So maybe Spencer Brown could take the fight up to Jose Flores in these wet conditions in Silverstone. Best right now from Jose Flores is a 201.3. Talk Phoenix second, provisional second, with a 203.5. As that Torres goes a 203 flat. It's nearly fucking, excuse me, excuse my language, and excuse me, nearly swallowed my dip right there, but no. Spencer Brown, as I was talking beforehand, Spencer Brown put in the fight against Jose Flores with a 201.1. We're going to go on board with Brown as he comes in late. That's why he's a Porsche right now. But Brown driving that Lamborghini, putting on pole, surprising from a GTP car versus Jose Flores in the Peugeot. At Torres in P3 with a 203 flat. Talk Phoenix right near him, about 0.5 away from Ed Torres. Alex Jury with a 204.3. And I'll round out your top 5 right now. The rest is going to be Victor Zelensky, Stefan Itzke, Nico Perez, John Alcala, Kyle Willing, Jacob Tuckey, Brendan Wilden, Bradley Kennedy, and Buggy Watt. You're running out your 14 drivers in your hypercar class. Now let us see what Alex Drury in that Genesis, one of the newer cars out there. I believe it was debuted last race by Suthaval, and that's what I want to say, or some other driver, but we did see a Genesis out there. As of right now, I believe Spencer Brown with a 201.1, Jose Flores with a 201.3. 3. Jose Flores right now doing purple first sector, so we're going to go back on a cam for him. We're going to follow him, see what he can do. See if he can close that gap, which is just 0.2 away. We're going to see if he can fix up that sector 2 because that's what he was lacking against Spencer Brown. Going to look at the other times, sector 1 times, see if there's anyone going over there. Alex Drury comes into P5 with a 204 flat, piping John Ikala. Going to have to see what that sector 2 time is for Jose Flores. Right now, Spencer Brown doing a 34.9, which is slower. It's a yellow sector for Spencer Brown. We're going to see if Jose Flores can do something about it, which I believe he's coming up to it right now. After this corner a little bit. Come on, Timon, give it to me. Tell me what he did. Still not giving me the timing, but right now, one of the other faster drivers right now is Ed Torres, going better in Sector 2 than Spencer Brown. So I think right now we're going to have a fight between, well, actually 1 and 2. Ed Torres, I think, got P3 locked down unless Alex Drury and Todd Phoenix can say something about it. P5 and P7 between Drury, Ikala, and Zelensky. Separated by about a second. So I think that's another thing. Let's see if Zelensky can get a little bit closer. Flores is not improving. $35.04 for his sector 2 time. As Brown goes even faster with a 28.6 on that first sector. Don't want to get on Brown too much because his car hasn't loaded yet, but I'm going to stick on Jose Flores, see what he's doing. Actually, let's go to Ed Torres because Ed Torres is going faster, but God dang it. It's another Porsche LMU placeholder. Go back on Jose Flores because that's the only car that's coming up. Jacob Tucky going P9, getting Stefan Itzke with 26.5. About 6 cents away from Victor Zelensky. Kyle Welling going P7 with a 25 or 25.5. I'm mixing my numbers up, guys. Still about a second and 0.3 away from Ikala in P6, but clearing Zelensky by 0.3. So Kyle Welling, one of the other drivers out there, trying to go into that top 5 against Alex Drury, John Ikala, Zelensky, Tucky, and Itzke. As we have Spencer Brown going at 21, keep on saying 20 again, 2 minutes and 1 second flat, going 0.3 faster than Jose Flores. Jose Flores not responding well to Spencer Brown in this qualifying right now. I think the weather has something to say about that. I think he's not used to the wet tracks. But we will see what happens in the race, especially since it's going to be a wet race. We're going to see what happens around here. Ed Torres going a little bit faster. So even though he has a placeholder car, we're going to go on his cam, see how he's faring around this track. Just see if he can pit Ed Torres for P2. I believe these guys in Portimao collided. Was it Qatar as well? I don't think they were running too much over there, but I believe it was Portimao where Ed Torres and Jose Flores collided in the first lap around turn 2. I think Ed Torres, actually Jose Flores was in the lead. Ed Torres got pit by Ponset, who's sadly not in the race right now. Clipped by Ponset, trying to do another overtake, going back into the position. Lost the rear and collided with Ed Torres, who is about, I want to say like 100 feet away from him when that happened. So he had a length away to try to avoid it, but at the same time breaking into a corner. You see an unstable car going towards you, you're going to be like, oh man, what can I do? Can I press the brakes harder? No, you're going to lock up, or you're already pressing the brakes as hard as you can. Ed Torres, as I was completely rambling about, goes fastest with a 2 second 0.9 right now. Spencer Brown with a point was 201.0, so 201 flat, and Jose Flores with a 201.3. So it's a battle between your top 3 right now. Brendan Wilden getting up there in P4, but a second and 6 cents away from your top 3. Surprising by Ed Torres. I was yapping about. I wasn't even looking at the screen. I was just looking up in the stars, just like, yeah, if your car is getting loose. And then I realized, oh, dang, Ed Torres, it went fast. We're going to see if he can hold that on. Right now, I believe Spencer Brown, actually Jose Flores, with the better sector times right now. We're going to see what he can do in this closing seconds of qualifying. I believe Jose Flores is not improving too much with a 201.3 still. Spencer Brown not improving too much as well. Well, improves himself, but 600s away from Ed Torres in P1. That's a heartbreaker right there. We're going to see at the end if Jose Flores is going to pit Ed Torres. Those names are a little bit too similar for my liking. I think I might confuse them again. But we're going to see what happens right now. Flores, right now, your battles against Brown. We're going to see if he can defeat that 3/10 gap between him and Brown. Which, add a couple hundreds, thousands, if you will. And that'll defeat Ed Torres as well to get pole. We're going to see what happens here for Jose Flores. Going down to that back straight right now. 28.7, a 35.1. Let's see what his sector 3 time does. If that's going to improve him. Gets a little bit loose on that curb. Going to see if that, and that just negates his qualifying. He lost way too much time doing that. Maybe he hadn't had enough time to gain on that sector 3, but just that little wobble outside on throttle killer, especially on the rain, especially on a curb. You get curbs that are wet, man, you just call them ice rinks. Jesus, as that's the end of our qualifying right now. We got Ed Torres, Spencer Brown, Jose Flores, Brendan Wilden, and Todd Phoenix. That was your top 5. Your rest from 6 to 14 is going to be Alex Drury, John Alcala, Victor Zelensky, Buggy Watt, Kyle Welling, Stefan Itzke, Jacob Tucky, Nico Perez, and Bradley Kennedy. As we go back to the GT3s right now. Let's go GT3 on the thing. We got Alvis, Bergqvist, Mocha, Paul, Ackerley, Powell, Kotsaris, Shakuryanov, Norman Stickley, Ver, and Stratton, rounding out your GT3 cars. Total drivers. Let's see what happens out here in the race. Quick predictions. Go with the grid for the race start, as the little robotic Frenchman said. I think my money, on the hypercars, I like Brown. I'm going to say Brown's going to do it. And then I'm going to go Bergqvist. I'm a homebody. These are veteran drivers, so I'm going to go for my veteran drivers, especially on the rain, especially on Silverstone with about 60 minutes to go. 60 minutes in total, actually, in the race. We are going to see what happens soon. Yeah, someone's making a joke in the Discord chat. I'm going to say, I didn't get a graphic in time for the race. As they're on the grid right now. Ed Torres on pole, Spencer Brown right next to him. I'm going to be on the outside, I believe. And we have Jose Flores on P3. As formation lap gets away, Spencer Brown and Jose Flores in the same team. I just realized driving different cars. Sure. But okay. We're going to see if Brown is going to get that jump on Ed Torres. We're going to see if Bergqvist. Oh my God, it's so loud. Here we go. It's a little bit more quiet for me. We're going to see what happens out here for your hypercars. You can see if Spencer Brown can get the jump on Ed Torres. You can see if Jose Flores is going to capitalize on that battle and see if Brendan Wild and Todd Phoenix in the back, in the mid places, can hang around with them. And for the GT3s, we're going to see if Alvis and Bergqvist, let's see if they can give us a good battle as they're coming up into your start finish. It's like a little kink right there, I believe. I was waiting for the green lights to go. Old start finish straight that goes into as it go green flag racing right now. Ed Torres with a good start. As they go 3 wide into the GT3s, but we're going to look in the battle in the first place. As you see Brown already challenging on the outside with Torres. You'll see if Jose Flores can get Torres. I feel like I'm right now as Ed Torres loses that position for Brown. Position fighting against Ed Torres or Jose Flores. Bump and run right there as Kala gets spun around into the dirt right now. Go all the way to the back. So right now we got Spencer Brown, Flores, P1, P2 for those team drivers right now. We're going to look in the back because I believe that's Zelensky that's Drury actually trying to go around Kyle Welling in P6. And we're going to go to we're going to say on Drury, going to see what that hypercar do as Nico Perez going down the order. Probably got spun out during that time. Alvis still in P1 for your GT3 class with Felipe Smoka right behind him with Paul in P3, Pip and Jonas Bergqvist. So not a good start by Bergqvist, but we're going to see if that changes. Jack Powell and Kotsaris going for P5 and P6. as I'm going to look into our fight between Jacob Tucky and Stefan Itzke right now. Jacob Tucky hounding that back end of that Cadillac. Let's see what he could do. Seems like they're not doing anything too much. Right now, Jacob Tucky thought there was going to be a battle, but no, just following real close. You don't really want to battle, especially when it comes to the rain. And he got all this time left. And it's just like, man, just get your tires warmed up and figure out a race strategy right now. I believe for the GTP cars, a zero stop is going to be viable. I believe that's going to happen. We're going to see some drivers try to do that. That's my prediction of the race. As we're trying to find some other in our P1 battle right now, teammates on teammate action. Spencer Brown, Jose Flores. Jose Flores trying to look on the outside, saying I'm still there, but Spencer Brown with that top end speed for that Lamborghini, surprisingly. Going faster a little bit. Spencer Brown going a little bit wide on that corner. Let's see if Jose Flores does anything. Doesn't. Spencer Brown, as he goes a little bit wide on that chicane, just giving that place to Jose Flores. As Ed Torres, we can try to go back. Spencer Brown on the dirt, giving Ed Torres that position at a P2. Now, they're in a sandwich. You're going to see if Spencer Brown is going to try to fight for that position back quickly. As Ed Torres trying to get that position back. His P1, if you will. Trying to do a switchback right now. Jose Flores putting his car in the right place. Getting a little bit of a better exit, but he's going to have all that aero push, that draft right behind him. Not viable at this current moment. We're going to see if Torres or Brown going to do something about it, but we have a fight right now. Spencer Brown just losing it on the corner, on exit. Spinning around. He's going to have to go the long way like a goddamn roller dog on a on a 7-Eleven counter. As it goes down into P10, losing all those places right now, but thankfully that's only the start of the race with 5 minutes left, or 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes expired, if you will. Can't get my words out right. Spencer Brown going down to P10 as we see Ed Torres getting a little bit shaken up from that. With a 5/10 gap away from Jose Flores. Talk Phoenix, 5 seconds away from Ed Torres in P2. As you can see right there. As we have Zelensky and Drury fighting it out for your P4 and P5 position. Let's see what Drury can do with that Genesis. Zelensky, hard-headed, still keeping on with the Glick. He said it's a bad car, but he still wants to drive it. So we're going to see what happens with Zelensky and Drew right now. Drew got to run a little bit. He's not going to try to make that move, right? Yep. Stand behind them. Wait for your other corners. See if you're going to have your overtaking spot in there. As we see in the background, that's Spencer Brown and Buggy Watt. Buggy Watt just giving that position again. Spencer Brown trying to go back up from P10. Spencer Brown. Sally just getting it loose on the throttle exit. As he goes and Jacob Tucky in that Peugeot. Got to go on the inside right now, going side by side, leave him some room. Who has a better exit right now? Spencer Brown, more grip from that Lamborghini than that Peugeot. easily clears it. See if Jacob Tucky has any response, but no, you got the fast section right there. Right there, the Beckett's, and I don't know. I don't know what you. I forgot the last one. I'm drawing a blank. Beckett's, and X? I don't know. Jacob Tucker losing all that time in the aforementioned corner. So Spencer Brown taking that position in P7. Trying to claw his way back up to the front. As we go on to P5, Jury losing a little bit of time from Zelensky with Wilden right behind him on that Porsche. We see if Wilden can take advantage of Jury. Fine for Zelensky for P4. Getting the run right here, trying to go on the inside. You're side by side right now. Break a little bit deeper. Jury trying to go for the inside cut, but no grip on that outside. Wilden taking that position smoothly and cleanly for P5. Now we're going to see if Jury has anything to say about it. Following it closely, let's see if that Genesis has that top, that top speed advantage against the Porsche. So you see Talk Phoenix a little bit farther away. Wilden going for a move on Zelensky immediately. Looking on the inside, but no. Bring a little bit earlier, Zelensky. Breaking deeper, if you will. Zelensky going on the middle line. Trying to make that car as wide as he can. Trying to protect that P4 with all his might as Wilden goes on the outside. Let's see if they're going to go side by side in the Lewis and Verstappen corner. As they don't, Wilden just clears him. Clears Zelensky before that fast right-hander. With Wilden right now, the man on the move. It's Wilden and Brown. P4 and P7 respectively. Talk Phoenix is up next for Wilden. Let's see if he can get it. Get to the back of him, overtake him. 1.5 seconds away. As we have Kyle Welling at the back. I believe he spun. Sad from him. And speaking of spinning, what happened to Philippe Smoka as he goes down into P4? Originally it was P2 up in the first couple minutes of the race, but now we have Alvis, Smarthy, Paul, Jonas Bergqvist, Smoksa, and Katsaros as your top 5 in the GT3 class. We're going to see if there's any battle right now, as I believe we have George Ackerley and Katsaros fighting. It's a Ferrari versus Corvette. Going a little bit slow. Let's see if Ackerley gets that drive right there. Katsaros going super wide. You'll see if he has a run going that wide, but nope. Ackley's still there, still on the outside. Let's see if he challenges. No. He's gonna stay put. He's gonna try to get a better exit for the straight, I believe. That's what Ackley's thinking. Right now, straight line speed. I don't think he's gonna have that top end speed to catch up back to Katsaros. Katsaros getting up in P5. First time driver here, I believe, for Katsaros. We have Cal Welling going ahead of Paul and Bergqvist. We're going to see that battle between Paul and Bergqvist. Going to see what happens around here. Bergqvist is my guy. I want him to win in GT3 because we saw as Kyle spins again on the outside. That wet weather is a little bit too much for that Toyota number 7 car. Look into the battle between Jacob Tucky and Buggy Watt. Now a little bit slow and technical corner. Let's see if Tucky's going to have that straight line speed. Doesn't look like it, as Watt in that Genesis That's a Genesis, right? Yep, and that Genesis having a better top line speed. I think the Genesis is a little bit good in this in LMU. Don't know. I would never drive a Genesis in real life, but that's just me. As we see Jacob Tucky spinning around, Jesus. The wet weather catching everyone out. Gosh, dang. As he's giving up all those positions down into P11, I believe. Let's see if Ike Hall is going to come back. Bradley Kenny getting into P10. See Ike Hall, let's see what he's going to do. It's like Tookie spinning out, losing all those places, man. Thankfully, it was just the first part of the race. Because we have 47 minutes left to go. As we look at the battle with Spencer Brown and Victor Zelensky. He's trying to go one-on-one. I'm just looking at the intervals and seeing if there's any close battles around. Usually I have Nick around with me, but he's doing greater and better things. Actually commentating in real life with a whole mic and everything. So, congrats to Nick. But I miss you, buddy. I need you in the booth with me. Emotional support animal. As Spencer Brown overtaking Victor Zelensky, Wilden in the battle between Talk Phoenix for your last podium position. Right behind Talk Phoenix, but that's only giving more time for Spencer Brown getting back up to the top. And I just completely forgot to put the caps on the overlay. My bad, guys. Get into lap traffic for Wilden, just losing all that time behind William Stickley and that forward. Spencer Brown nearly colliding into William Stickley on the outside, but thankfully not hitting him. The Jonas Bergqvist and Paul battle still going hard as we saw a Porsche overtaking a Toyota. Porsche GT3 overtaking a Toyota hypercar. I don't know what's happening to Kyle. Maybe he has some damage. But it seems like Paul is keeping up with the hypercar. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, that's weird to look at. How those GT3 cars just keeping up with the hypercar. Just blocking Paul right now with Bergqvist right behind him. Scott Welling spins out for the, I believe, third time. Cal gets back into it. We're going to see if Bergqvist can do anything on the straight. The forward having a less exit. No, a slower exit than that Porsche, but still being close to him. As we're going to try to look at our other battles with Brendan Wilden and Todd Phoenix. Getting a little bit too hot for my taste with Spencer Brown right with him. So it's going to be a battle for your final podium position between these three drivers. Talk Phoenix, Wilden, and Brown. And you have Shakirinov out there playing spoiler. That GT3 as they clear the GT3, but Wilden's going to look for the outside, trying to go side by side. Let's see. A little bit of touching right there. That gives Brown an opportunity. Wilden goes super wide. Let's see if Brown is also going to overtake Talk Phoenix in that corner. Nope. Talk Phoenix gets the inside line, blocks him on the outside. Brown a little bit squirrely on the throttle. Right now, let's see if Wilden can make it. Can he do a Lewis and Max Verstappen moment? Nope. He thinks better of it. Wilden just sits behind Brown for a little bit. Abides his time. As Brown on the attack again against Talk Phoenix. As Talk Phoenix just spins out right there on the fast corners. Maggots and Beckett spins out, giving the way for Spencer Brown, and Wilden, surprising by Talk Phoenix. We haven't seen him spun out yet, but let's see what happens. On a battle between Brown and Wilden. Wilden getting a worse exit than Brown, but we have traffic coming up. We have three types of traffic. We're going to see if Brown can just get around them quickly, or if Wilden is going to take advantage of those GT3 traffic. Wilden quick in this track and that Porsche. Brown also quick, but sadly had that spin early on. Let's see if he can keep it together. Katsares with that team spirit 014 Ferrari, blocking every little second as they touch it a little bit with Jack Powell and Spencer Brown. Let's see if Wilden, he's going to take advantage of that as he goes side by side with Brown, overtaking him. Going to try to block him. Let's see what happens on the straight. Let's see if Brown has to run. Wilden taking advantage of the traffic. Let's see Brown looking on the inside. Wilden breaks a little bit later. Brown's still going to try to go for it. Tucks it right behind him and keeps it. Keeps it steady for the meantime. Wilden using that traffic for his advantage. Good high IQ move by Wilden. Something you don't really see in online racing. As an iRacing guy, you don't see that. Usually you just have people that are what's it called? They think about what happens now. They don't think about the future, right? They don't think what happens in 5 minutes or later. That's the type of people you usually get in your online racing. As Wilden a little bit squirrely on that exit, that wet weather. It's going to be wet throughout the race, so we're not going to see some weird strategies with the track drying up. Wilden ahead of Brown. That'll be for your third position, your final podium position. Brown trying to look for the inside right here. A little bit of move saying, I'm here, but I'm not going to try to do anything stupid. As Wilden goes a little bit late into that corner, Brown taking advantage of that. A little bit of dummy move by Brown saying, hey, I'm here. Maybe you're going to brake later when you see me go into the left side, go into your inside. But Brown making that move. Stick. Textbook by Brown. Wilden. Don't know if it's the wet weather or actually getting fooled by that move, but goes down to P4. Brown making his way up back into P2. Right now, Jose Flores is still your P1 guy in that Peugeot. Ed Torres, 3 seconds away in P2. And then you have Brown and Wilden rounding out your top 4. We're going to see what's it looking like in this battle between Bergqvist and Paul. A long battle by Bergqvist, taking his sweet time against Paul. It's hard to say when you're a commentator, just like, hey, is he just taking his sweet time making this move, or are they so equal? We only got 2 tenths between you. It's hard to say. I don't know. Maybe Bergqvist is just calm and collected in that car, or maybe Bergqvist is just, wrenching everything out of that Ford Mustang GT3, seeing like, hey, is there anything less I can give to keep up with Paul right now. As Paul is P2 overall. Alves getting a super clean getaway. I believe it's about 7/10 away from Paul right now. Then you have Berkquist and Smoka rounding out your top 4 in the GT3 class. As we have Brown, because we were on them before, overtaking these lap traffic. You can see how Wilden overcomes that. Wilden playing a little bit safe. Brown overtaking Paul. Looks like Brown's going to get a good gap between him and Wilden for that final podium position. Wilden just finally overtaken the Porsche of Paul. Philippe Smoka still in the back. Philippe Smoka, I believe, was P2 in qualifying. Still in P4 in pretty much no man's land. No car in it with him. Just a sad, wet drive in the middle of Britain. Absolutely stunning, if you will. Let's go back into the battle with Berkquist and Paul. I believe that's our closest gap right now between anyone else. Paul, one of our newer drivers in the series. I believe he came in for the first race and all that stuff. Berkquist, a seasoned veteran. Berkquist coming back to your GT3 cars. I believe Berkquist told me that he was more of a GT3 driver than a hypercar driver, but I think we saw a lot from him in the hypercars in last season as he won this race a year ago. In that I saw the Fraschini with a beautiful strategy. As he goes into the inside with Paul, a little bump and run right now. Paul trying to hang on the outside. Berkquist squeezing him. Let's see if Paul's going to have anything to say about it. Nope, tucks right behind Berkquist. That was a good move by Berkquist for the final podium position of GT3. No, actually, for the second place of GT3. And look at that gap already between Berkquist and Paul. About 6/10. Getting all those gaps away. As let's look back into Torres right now in that Genesis, just right behind Jose Flores, trying to overcome that Genesis against that Peugeot. Apparently the Peugeot is a little bit faster in LMU, or at least the Evo model, I believe, the one with the wing, is fast. A lot more people going into that Genesis right now. I haven't tried a Genesis yet in LMU. Well, I heard good things about it. I like how the car looks. I think it fits the Genesis design real nice. I don't know about the back end though. They're a little bit like a G80 or something like that. I can kind of see it. But it just looks like a race car. Like, if you think about a race car, if you look at it, you're going to say, yeah, that's a race car. Don't know too much about the Peugeot design language, if that's honorable or comparable to your road cars. But right now, Ed Torres is right behind Jose Flores. We're going to see if there's going to be a little battle for P1, for your overall P1 of the race. It's between the two Puerto Ricans. Yeah, two Puerto Ricans. Ed Torres, Jose Flores, rhyming. See, let's see if Ed Torres gets that little bit of run, trying to go on the inside a little bit. Shows his nose. But no move right there. Ettore is trying to find for any grip on the outside using alternate lines against Jose Flores. We're going to see right after this Beckett's an X corner. I think it's X. But anyways, right there, right on the straight behind it, into the Verstappen-Hamilton corner. I don't know what this corner is actually, but I just remember that one accident where they had in that last good season of F1, if you will. See, right now, Ettore trying to close that gap for the straight. See if he has the exit right now, and it seems like he does. Jose Flores immediately go on the outside. Ettore trying to look on the inside. Let's see if he's going to make that move. No, he doesn't. Jose Flores getting the faster mid grip, if you will, on that apex of that corner. Just have Ettore just laying back right behind P1 of that 48 car. As we have 32 minutes left to go, halfway through. We're going to have to look at the... Let's look at the virtual energy. What they have. They have about 50, a little bit more than 50. So a zero stop is possible, and you could do it. You just got to finish your race. We're going to see what happens over here between them. Not sure if a zero stop is viable for your GT3 cars. Again, we haven't had GT3 cars in a while, but just judging by their fuel, I think they can make it. But we're going to see what happens. Between them. But traffic from Jay Verher. It says his name wrong. Ettore still on the back of Jose Flores. As we're going to have our first lap traffic for your GTP with Nico Perez coming in the back end. He's going to be our P12 guy right now. Let's see if the blue flags rule. Let him go through. He's in the van wall. I didn't even realize this, man. He's in the van wall. Goated by Nico Perez. As Ettore trying to make it 3 wide with a lap car. Ettore on the outside. Let's see if he can make it stick with that Genesis. Genesis getting that more run on the outside, but Jose Flores is going to get a better exit. Or does he? As Jose Flores trying to stick it on the outside of this bus stop. Right now, Ettore, as they touch a little bit of argy-bargy, Jose Flores getting the better run on that second half. As Jose Flores keeps that position, I thought Ettore is going to take that using Nico Perez. But let's see, it's not over yet. Ettore is right behind Jose Flores. Let's see if he's going to make a move on these following corners. Very racy right now. You got Shakirian as your traffic. Ettore is just biding his time right now. Getting a little bit of a gap between him and Jose Flores. That was a good little battle. Using that lap traffic. Ettore nearly making that move stick. As we are looking at the other battles right now. Spencer Brown still in P3, 16 seconds behind top 2 battle. If these top 2 are still battling, that's only going to lower that time for Spencer Brown. He's going to catch up to them real quick. Brendan Wilden losing a little bit of steam. 12 seconds behind your P3 car, so it looks like he's going to stay put in P4 with Wilden. One of the faster cars out here. And then to round it all off, we got Drury in P5, Talk Phoenix in P6, Victor Zelensky in P7, Buggy Watt in P8, Stefan Itzke on P9, John Ikala P10, Bradley Kennedy, Nico Perez, Kyle Welling, and Jacob Tucky rounding out your 14 positions for your hype cars. As right now for our GT3 class, we have Alvis still up there. Paul overtaking Smoka again for P2. It's a good little battle between him and Smoka. Or it was Bergqvist, but no, Smoka gets ahead of Bergqvist for P3. Bergqvist down into P4. Apologies that we haven't seen that battle. Then you have Jack Powell and Katsaris for P5 and P6. Ackerley, Shakirinov, Verwer, Stickley, Norman, and Stratting rounding out your total of 12 cars in GT3. I'm really interested in what happened to Bergqvist, as he was ahead of Paul for P2, but now he's all the way back here with his teammate. I believe that's William Sticky's. I believe he got lapped. But Bergqvist going down into P4 to P2. Paul getting that P2 back from Bergqvist, with Smoka trying to claw his way back up into P2. Alvis again in no man's land, 12-second gap between him and Paul. An absolute runaway from Alves in that Lamborghini 115 Nebula. Same team as your top runners of Spencer Brown and I believe Jose Flores. They got like a huge team out here, man. I feel like we gotta bust this team. We're going to have to do an anti-Nebula coalition, if you will. So that these people aren't always going to be on top, which you hate to see it or you love to see it. No in between. See traffic for Jose Flores right now. And at Torres, we're also going to have another lap traffic of Kyle Welling soon enough. See if Kyle Welling is just going to let him go through with no incidents. Kyle Welling on the outside, getting a little bit squirrely, blocking Flores a little bit. But it's all good. Let's see if he's going to let Ed Torres through. Seems like he does. That's still Flores up on top. Ed Torres not getting too much time in that gap. Let's see, what other battles do we have? Looking at the GT3 cars, and they're pretty evenly spread out. We'll keep an eye on them later on. Because see what happens in the closing minutes, as we have 24 minutes left to go. In the 60 minutes of Silverstone, round 4 of your LSR LMU Challenge. Lightning Speed Racing, Le Mans Ultimate Challenge. There's no acronym for challenge. It's way too long for an acronym. Going to the P9 battle between Itzke and Boogie Watt. As Itzke goes a little bit drifting out here. Thinking he's in a Formula D championship. Trying to make those style points. Losing all that time against Boogie Watt. I saw Itzke closing into Boogie Watt. Trying to get on that cam, but nope. Lost a little bit of time with that good S14 impression. Koki. Go back into the Ed Torres and Jose Flores battle. Get a little bit closer every time for Ed Torres. Ed Torres a little bit of a kick on the outside, on the rear end for him. losing a bit time from Jose Flores, but you have traffic up front. We're gonna see what happens over there. Bradley Kenny getting out of the way. But I believe there's also GT3 traffic coming up. Yep, with Berkquist. Jose Flores going the long way on the outside against Berkquist. Clears him super easily. Let's see if Torres can do the same unless he gets caught up into the Max Verstappen corner. Clears him right beforehand. So that's good on Torres for traffic management. Let's see if there's more traffic ahead of him. I believe so for Jose Flores. Getting caught at the worst moment right here behind Felipe Smoka. Into the fast left, right, left. Trying to go on the outside. A little bit bold from Jose Flores. But let's see if Torres can capitalize it. Gets a little bit better traffic management than Flores. But still a 6/10 gap between him and your P1 guy. As right now we're going to have more traffic coming up. I believe is Paul in that portion. Let's see if Ed Torres can try to make another move. Just stick right by him, wait for that traffic, and then make a move. Force a move, if you will. Right on it. Ed Torres getting a little bit too racy right now. Flores clearing Paul, as does Torres. So that traffic is going to be a non-factor for them. But right now, Ed Torres still right behind Flores. You see what he could do. See if that straight line to Genesis is going to work for him. Let's see. Does he go on the inside? Nope. Just stays right behind, trying to do an alternate line maybe. Try to get that switch back. A little bit on the outside. See if there's more wet out there. See if we get more grip with those wet weather tires. So Jose Flores just keeping him right at bay. A little good battle between him and Torres. Flores being, I believe, your P1 guy. And I had hopes for Spencer Brown winning this race, but no, he spun out in the first couple of minutes of the race. But now he's back in the P3. So it ain't all too bad for Spencer Brown, but sadly, he would have been in this fight if he didn't spin out. Right now, he is 18 seconds away from your P2 guy of Ed Torres. Jose Flores a little bit better in that sector. Giving a little gap from Torres. Guess it's a battle between Team Nebula and Team Overdrive Sim Racing. As I'm trying to read that little small text up over there. As you have 19 minutes left to go on this race, if my calculations are correct. We have 2 divided by 20, that's 10. But we have 19, so give or take, remove a lap from that. We have 9 racing laps left to go. That's quick maths. That's what they teach you in gardening school. You gotta do quick maths. Anyways, I overtake our GT3 leader with Alves. As you can see, that huge gap between Alves and Paul, between P1 and P2 right now. Ed Torres getting a little bit less, or losing time from Jose Flores, still 6/10 away. I'm really hyped up to see what they can do in the closing minutes of this race. Torres going a little bit wide right there on the wet part of the track. It was way too slick. Losing a little bit of time, losing about 2/10 from Flores. Let's see if you can gain it back. Again, this is still anyone's game. Actually, well, between these two guys' game, if you will, right? We've seen fast drivers, we've seen consistent drivers spin out, we've seen drivers just lose positions, getting a little bit too loose on the exit. And that would just, lose them all these positions that they gained that they were on pure pace from that. We haven't seen that with Alves, Torres, and Flores yet, but you never know what happens in these closing minutes, especially with these old wet tires. I gotta think that they ought to be screaming right now, those tires, saying like, change me out. I'm done for, boss. Get me out of this car. Using all the threads in those tires. You see again with the pit stops, we only have our lap traffic with Tucky going for a pit stop and Ver, I believe. Tucky and Welling going for a pit stop. And that's it. As we have Ed Torres going on the inside of Jose Flores. Excuse me, as they touch a little bit, Ed Torres making that move stick. Jose Flores trying to go back. Looking on the inside, but no, Ed Torres just gets that run against him. Let's see if Jose Flores is going to go back on it. I hate how every time I try to talk about like strategy or anything else other than the race, they start battling. Like, did you guys not read the script? I specifically said that Jose Flores and Ed Torres are going to crash into each other, but they're not. As we see Jose Flores trying to battle against Ed Torres in the fast section. Let's see if Jose Flores is going to get that run into Stowe. I believe that's the fast right-hand corner. Right there. Ed Torres getting a little bit of better exit than Jose Flores. I mean, I don't think that move is going to happen. Jose Flores is about 4 tenths away. But yes, Ed Torres making that move, a stick, with 16 minutes left of this race. That could have been the move of the race if they keep up with this pace. Some good rhyming right there. If I do say so myself. So you have Ed Torres still up in front. Jose Flores now chasing. It's a pretty good battle between our overall P1, our P1 in the GTP class. Hypercar class, excuse me. A little bit of IMSA brained right now. In our GT3 class right now, we still got Alves, Paul, Smoka, and Berkris running our top 4. Our closest battle is still with Ed Torres and Jose Flores. Spencer Brown in no man's land, overtaking that Ferrari of Bradley Candy, who is lap, gets a little bit on the grass. That's not going to help him try to catch up these drivers up front. 22 seconds between him and Jose Flores, his teammate, in that Peugeot. I don't think it's going to happen in 14 minutes, but you never know. Maybe they touch a lot. Maybe they both spin out, and Spencer Brown goes in for the win. That's going to be something. I'm going to jump out of my chair and scream. As we have traffic right now that was holding up Ed Torres. Jose Flores getting right behind him. I believe that's traffic of Shakirianov and then McLaren. Jose Flores losing again on that straight, but you're going to have more lap traffic up ahead, which I believe is going to be Talk Phoenix. I'm not sure who that driver was, but it was a driver. But right now, Jose Flores right behind Ed Torres. We're going to see what happens in this closing minutes of the race. Let's see if Jose Flores can use that traffic to his advantage, as we've seen Ed Torres done against him. All those probing moves. as we have, I believe that was Etsuke, so letting them go through. So no moves from Flores using the traffic. So we're going to see what happens right here. More traffic ahead of us as we see in the screen. Jose Flores using that slipstream, trying to go right behind of Torres. Super close into that corner. You're going to see if they can have a better exit instead of going to the Max and Hamilton corner. Looks like Torres is going to clear him, at least for that corner, but then you have the fast right, left, right, or left, right, right, left, right, left. That's coming up right now. Let's see if Flores can gain some time in that in that Peugeot. At Torres immediately gaining all those times against, or Jose Flores gaining all those times against Ed Torres. Actually getting on the outside for the next corner, clearing all those traffic. But you even got more traffic coming up with Buggy Watt and all the other GT3 drivers. So we're going to see if Jose Flores can go close enough and make a move against them. See, Ed Torres just negotiating with traffic, getting held up a lot by that GT3 car. Flores getting a little bit caught out by Katsuras of that Ferrari. Now let's see about the mixed traffic with the GTPs and GT3 traffic. Jose Flores trying to go on the outside, trying to make that move stick, just putting his nose about in there. Stickly compromising his line. He can't go wide on there. You got a car on the outside. As Torres and Flores, a little bit of a nice ballet between them, between the traffic, into those tricky corners. You love to see it. You love to see all the drives. Torres gets a little bit wide, overshoots himself into braking. Flores getting back his P1. Torres, you can't brake after what we just saw. After you guys negotiated on that traffic, all that to keep P1, all that just to overbrake yourself afterwards. Maybe you're a little bit too overstimulated in the cockpit. I get it. But man, as Ed Torres losing that position against Jose Flores. Spencer Brown in your final podium position. 25 seconds away. As Ed Torres spins out. What happened to Ed Torres? Just looks like he has some snap oversteer. Maybe some water on the track. He's losing all these positions. And I think that's it for the battle of P1 between Torres and Flores. We have a 17-second gap between him and Brown. Ed Torres is going to keep that P2. But with 9 minutes left to go in this race, I think it's all over unless Jose Flores has a catastrophic event. About 8 seconds. An 8-second gap that's just going wider and wider between Flores and Torres. Scenes from Torres. As I called before, you never know with these two drivers. Maybe there's going to be a spin out. There was. As we see another car spin out, I believe that was a lap car. So, low-key, not that interested. As he's having trouble negotiating with Stefan Itzke. Getting a little bit of a... These tires are on the end of their lives. They're trying to make it work. I don't know if LMU simulates blowouts, but if they did, we would probably see one in this race. That's the way these drivers are using these tires all around. Still wet on the track. Again, it's going to be a full wet race. No shenanigans with dry tires unless someone wants to be a hero. But right now, as our standings look, Jose Flores, Ed Torres, Alex Gurley, Victor Zelensky, Brennan Wilden, Buggy Watt, Stefan Itzke, Bradley Kennedy, Nico Perez, and Kyle Welling is going to be your top 10 for your GTP class, or your hypercar class. And for our GT3 class is going to be Mateus Alves, Paul Sasmary, I think that's how you say it, Philippe Smoka, Jonas Bergquist, Jack Powell, Grigoris Katsaras, George Ackerley, Ildar Shakirinov, William Stickley, and Jesse Verrer for your top 10 in your LMGT3 class. Alves having a quiet race, no troubles from him, 16 seconds away from your P2 of Paul. Paul, I believe that's his highest position in the series right now. Newcomer for this year. Making scenes, going P2. Good on you. Number 24, Porsche. Philippe Smoka, P3 for your podium position. Final podium position, Jonas Bergquist, trying to catch every little second that you can get to fight for that podium position. As we're going to go on the cam of Smoka, a little bit, well, second and a half against Paul Sasmary. Let's see what happens in the closing minutes between these GT3 drivers. 6 minutes left to go. About 3-ish laps, 3 to 4 laps of racing left. We're going to see what happens. Ed Torres getting that gap closer. Well, marginally closer. Still 10 seconds away. But scenes from Ed Torres just losing it. Overbreaking himself into that corner. Letting Jose Flores by. Philippe Smoka slowly catching up to Paul. I don't know if it's going to be enough for this race, but we'll wait and see. So you have another battle between Itzke and Boogie Watt. Going to be a Genesis versus your, I believe Itzke's on the Cadillac. Yes. So obviously I'm rooting for Itzke. Just because he's driving a Caddy. I'm very biased. I'm just going to say that right now. I'm very biased when it comes to American brands. But Itzke just losing that time on the back straight. It's about a second between him and Buggy Watt. As I'm trying to find another battle. See what happens to George Ackerley. Jesse very a lap car, so he's a non-factor in this, but he's close to Katsaras. I believe these two new drivers in the series fighting out for P6 of your class. Ackerley in a red Corvette, heretic. Especially a new Corvette, don't like it. Don't like it. It's even worse than a blue Corvette, in my opinion. A blue Ferrari 2 by Katsaras? Man, what has my game come to, man? We're getting all these different colors. I can't believe it. I cannot believe this. As I can't believe Itzke's still a second behind of Buggy Watt. Still trying to fight that position with 3 minutes left to go. Closing minutes of your race. I don't think it's going to happen, but we're going to see. We're going to wait and see with Buggy Watt and Stefan Itzke. See what happens between them. Ed Torres still 9 seconds behind Flores, still not recovering from his spin. Drury, 1 minute and 13 seconds away from your P2 position, so that's locked in for him. Zelensky, 6 seconds away from Drury. Let's get a little bit of a snap oversteer corrected. Losing a little bit of time. Let's see what he could do. As he's P7 right now, trying to fight for P6 overall. Brendan Wilden getting overtaken by Zelensky, as I just realized. I want to say he spun, not too sure. But Wilden losing that position up against Zelensky. Zelensky P4, I believe that's going to be his best position for this year. So congrats to him. I'm going to go ahead and type out this. Again, 2 minutes left on this race. I believe that's just going to be a full lap of racing, or +1, if you will. Maybe 2 laps for our front running drivers of Jose Flores and Ed Torres. But we'll wait and see what happens to all this stuff. Again, not a lot of gaps between them. It looks like they're staying put. Our closest gap is between Itzke and Watt for P6, as we're looking at that battle right now. Watt going a little bit wide. Itzke trying to cut that alternate line. Let's see if he has a run against that Genesis on that straight. Flashing his lights saying, hey, I'm coming up to you. It ain't over till the fat lady's singing, as they say it. The fat lady singing being an opera reference, but, you know. We'll see what happens. If Itzke is going to be singing at the end of the race for getting that P6 position, as I'm still working on my transitions, being a single broadcast. Usually I'm more of a, not a play-by-play guy, but more so of a color commentary kind of guy. Is getting that gap a little bit closer just by every corner. Putting in the pressure against Itzke as, let's see what, or putting that pressure on Watt, if you will. Itzke putting that pressure on. We're going to see what this transpires in your closing seconds right now. We have 30 seconds left in this race, and what a race it's been. It's been a little bit of a quiet race, but we have seen some good lap management, I have to say so myself. Some good battling with those traffic cars, and a lot of spins just due to the wet track. But we'll see. Right now, I believe Ed Torres or Jose Flores is going to come up to your finish line after this lap. He's in P1. Kind of taking a slow stroll, making sure he doesn't spin out the car. As we go back into battle between Watt and Itzke right now, as our timer has expired, so it's going to be their final lap for all these drivers. We are going to see what happens in this battle. It doesn't look like anything's going to happen. It's 5/10 away. It's getting the worst exit right now. Nothing happening for Itzke. As you have Jose Flores negotiating this final few corners of the track. Gonna go into the back straight, but what a race has it been for Jose Flores right there. Gets on pole, I believe. I believe he got on pole. Could have been Ed Torres, but either way, battled it between him and the aforementioned Ed Torres for P1. It was a good battle between them. Sadly, Ed Torres had to overbreak himself as he goes into, I believe, there's going to be your start finish straight. Jose Flores is going to be your winner of today in Silverstone, in 6 minutes of Silverstone. Ed Torres is going to come back up, overtaking Shakir Yanov into that final corner as he finishes that race, having the best lap time overall with a 22-second flat, 2:08. Insane. Or not 2-second flat, 2 minutes 00.8. Insane by them. As we have Alves missing that final straight as he, goes P1, hitting Flores, his teammate, a little bit. As they're doing donuts at the end, but it's going to be Flores, Sasbury, Smoka, Berkvist, Jack Powell for your GT3s, and of course for your hypercars, you're going to have Flores, Torres, Jury, Zelensky, and Wilden for your top 5 right now. Good race for all these drivers. Let me see if I can get some interviews right now. I'm going to go into our starting soon screen, so give us 1 second as I try to wrangle up these drivers. As I'm waiting on these drivers to give us the interview, again, I have to repeat myself for our overalls right now. We have Jose Flores in P1. Let's go back to our normal screen. Jose Flores, Ed Torres in P2, Alec Drury in P3, rounding out your podium position. Victor Zelensky in his best P4, I believe. Brendan Wilden going to be P5. Buggy Watt in P6. Itzke in 7th. Kennedy in 8th. Perez and Welling for your 9th and 10th. We have Alves, Sasbury, and Smoka for your opposite. What happened over here? I just heard something happen. But I believe we have our interviewees over here. Let me double check Discord real quick. We have Jose Flores and Alves in our chat. I want to talk to you, Flores, right now, our race winner of our GTP class.
Hello.
What do you have to say? That was a good battle between you and Torres right there. Unfortunately, Torres just overbraked himself into that chicane, I believe, into the bus stop, right? And you just took that position. But you're going to have to tell me, what was your thoughts when it came to battling him?
Well, it was me and him had a really good battle for what felt like half the race, and it's really unfortunate that he spun out. I don't exactly remember where, but like you mentioned, it really sucks that he had to spin out. I wanted to continue battling with him to see who takes P1, but sadly that didn't go that way. But it was fun, man. Track was extremely dangerous, but I was able to pull through.
Congrats, Flores. How about your teammate Bradley Kennedy, I believe, the Canadian, into that Porsche? Getting up there, I was betting on him to win, but no, in the first couple of minutes, he spun out on exit, I believe, of that fast right-hander. It's not on the server right now, but I just want to say, what do you think about that? Seeing your teammate just kind of losing it.
You said the Porsche? I don't.
Is it the Porsche?
I don't know if he's just...
Are you not Nebula drivers or some bullshit like that?
No, I'm the Peugeot. No.
Oh.
No, yeah, but he is. He is. It's just it's Spencer Brown. That's the other one.
Oh, yeah.
My bad. No, shit. Yeah, my bad. I'm getting my teams mixed up. But no, you guys are like the evil team. You guys are like the Mercedes of this bullshit right now. But anyways, yeah. I was gonna transition over to Alves right now, our GT3 race winner. No competition from Alves. I'm just gonna say it straightforward. So you're gonna have to tell me what happened into that race. How do you feel about your start? How do you feel about mid-race where you're just like you're basically taking a Sunday drive?
The start was insane. Like there was so much spray in the GT3 field that we literally could not go full speed. I was going like half throttle for the first two sectors because didn't know what was in front of me, and I think the back half of the hypercar grid as well, because I was keeping up with them for that point.
Yeah, it was
And,
weird when we saw like, well, obviously you're gonna have like a couple spin outs in the backs for your hypercars, right? But they're still battling you, and you're just like, I'm about the same speed as you in the corners. So it's just like, what do I do here, right?
Yeah, I was just trying to survive, really. And thankfully I did. But yeah, after that, just difficult conditions, very easy to make a mistake. So I almost died multiple times, including once in the second lap, I think, that I nearly spun. But thankfully there were a couple of hypercars between me and second place, which I think was Mocha at that point. So I could keep P1 and just drive away from there, but it was really easy to make mistakes. So I think it was more about making fewer mistakes than necessarily being fastest right now.
I agree with that. We saw that with our top battle, right? With Torres making that mistake, just giving up that position from Flores. But all clean around for the GT3s. I want to see who's our P2. I think it was Paul Sasbury. But yeah, no, it was a good little back and forth between him and Berkfist, but Berkfist just losing that position at the end of the day, going in P4 with Smoka getting back into P3. I think Sasbury, his best finish. I think this is your first win, Flores. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I took a win early during the season. I don't quite remember what round it was. Sorry.
Yeah.
Was it Spa, I think?
No, not quite. I took P2 on that one.
I think it would have been Qatar, maybe.
Nope.
Oh, dang. Bahrain.
Well, anyway.
They didn't win because he spun at Portimao.
Yeah, we only have 4
Mine
races
was.
here.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, Portimao, we saw that crash. I started I'm sorry, I started laughing when I saw that. I was like, there's no way this happened. But anyways, thank you guys for coming in. I don't think we're going to have more people going in. Good racing all around for our overall winners of GTP, Jose Flores, or actually Hypercars of Jose Flores, and LMGT3s for Mateus Alves. Any last words from you guys?
Thank you for having me.
Just exactly good race all around as well. Good racing in general. I think the GT3 field, I've not been around them too much, just on Spa, but then I crashed. But everyone seems to be pretty good too. So good races.
Yep. All good racing around here. Thank you guys for coming in. As I'll get out the Discord. Okay. Thank you guys for coming in for your LSR LMU Challenge, round 4, 60 minutes of Silverstone. I believe our next race is going to be our 2.4 hours of the man, Le Mans. I don't know if that actually translates to the man, but I'll say it's the man's. 2.4 hours of the man's in May 23. So that's going to be 2 weeks from now. Same time as usual. I've been your only host and your producer, Lane, out here. Thank you guys for watching. And I will see you in 2 weeks from now for your 2.4 hours of